Okay, removing the striker mechanism or the unit, the player unit itself, is quite simple too. In those days, I guess the engineers figured out that these things would have to be serviced regularly, so they put it together in a manner that is quite easy to undo. In this particular model, all I have to do is unhook these little rods, these two control rods, take out feeder to the vacuum motor, which is connected here, and this part here isn't supposed to come with the hose. It's supposed to be glued in there, so was probably a leak in there also. And on this side there were 4 screws there, which are now there, and on this side there's just one large screw in the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. I'll point it right there. The hole is there. Once that is done, it's just a question of muscle power and sliding it out and lifting it out. Just a note, things that I'll have to do is the tracker bar itself seems to have some blockage issues by corrosion. I tried polishing here. You can see that the finish is a lot smoother and stuff, so these are all things that I'll have to look into. Now I'm about ready to lift it out, so I'll try and locate this so you get a general view. I'll try to just put it on the chair here so I can't film the back side of it. It's not exactly lightweight, and there are so many little things, all the little bellows and stuff, and it's quite heavy. It must weigh at least about, I'd say about 60 pounds. 60 to 70 pounds. There, I have it on the chair. So this is the back side of the piano action system, which is what they call, I think it universal piano action. So that's the back side of the motor, back side of the tracker bar, and all the pipes. All this piping is made out of lead. Then you see the stopper adjuster screws. These are the lift adjuster screws. And you got some other little things here that are adjustable, and these are the little bellows. When this contracts with the vacuum, it lifts that part there, which in turn plays a key. So all of these, some of them are a bit stiffer than others. It's probably due to the fact that it's old, but they don't appear to be cracked or anything, so I may not get into recovering and taking them all out to do a major overhaul of these things. But I do know that the valves themselves are leaking quite a bit, so I'll look into the valve system first, and then if I find that the bellows themselves have to be redone, then I will. But for now, it's not that complicated to remove it. I have a broken pipe here, which they tied up with duct tape, and they tried to plug this hose here where it goes in the bellows system with duct tape. So I know that I have quite a bit of work to do on it. All the hoses are stiff, so I got a good project for my retirement of putting this thing back together. So next video will be I think repairing the cracked soundboard, which is cracked. Let me see now. I don't know if I'll be able to show you. The crack is exactly right there. So it's behind the main, where the strings make, bass strings make contact with the soundboard. So it shouldn't do any adverse effect on the soundboard. What I'll be doing is sealing the crack with fiberglass resin, which I already tried on the other side, and you can see that the resin has seeped through the crack. So I think that by applying a coat of fiberglass fibers over the crack, that should solidify it and finish that problem. These small bellows there tune for loudness and soft play of the bass and the treble side of the piano, while the roll is playing with these. You have two little valves here which you can operate and lower the volume. So these are probably will have to be done. Now I see a piece of duct tape there, I guess maybe it was MacGyver who owned the piano and was quite fancy with duct tape. So anyway, the next step will be when I flip it down to seal the pins and seal that crack there. This is a follow-up on my reconstruction of my player piano, trying to get it to run. What you have here is the stack, the bellow stacks, and what I had to do is, there you see all the primary valves, and what I'm trying to do is to isolate the ones which are working and the ones which aren't. When I apply vacuum to it, as it is now, they all the bellows collapse. So in my way of thinking, it makes me think that the bellows are okay, but I'm having problems, probably dirts in the valves or something like that. That's the pump assembly, which I've pretty well sealed up to close to 80%. It holds vacuum up to about 15 seconds now. So that part should be well enough to run the piano. And on this side you have the upper part, which is the tracker bar and all the lead pipes. I took that part off because the pipes are corroded and they were too fragile, and since I was doing some fiberglass resin for another thing I'm working on, I decided to put a coating of resin on the pipes themselves to solidify them and hopefully making them more airtight. And after that I tested with a vacuum pump out of all the holes that connects the pipes to the tracker bar, and I've noticed there is leakage, so I applied some air pressure at about 1 to 2 psi, close to 15 psi, and I sprayed some soapy water and could see bubbles along where the pipes go into the wood. So I'll try to seal it. Probably I'll try to seal it with some crazy glue or something like that and give you the results later. And another thing is the piano itself has been moved to its permanent location. What I've done on it is tried to, I'm